Hi everyone, I'm Bonita from Pennies to Dollars, and this next few videos, I am in North Carolina at my son's 1878 colonial style home. He is having me stay with my 17-year-old grandson while him and his wife travel abroad. So we get a fun destination, and I got permission from him to give you a tour of his frugal home. He thrifted pieces that make this colonial style home look like it came right out of like one of the Civil War movies. It is absolutely beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed this video while we do some frugal things around my son's beautiful frugal home. I hope you'll stick around. Hi, I'm Bonita and I am early retired. I'm not old enough yet for Social Security. I'm living on a low income and I am living off of savings. I live in Kansas on a farm and I have a donkey. This is Brownie. I have frugal videos all year round and I hope that you will join me this year as we share ways to save money and live our dreams. My son's family is only the fourth family to live in this home from 1878. In fact, the women from the first family laid these bricks and made this circular driveway all by hand. My son and daughter-in-law say that they absolutely love this house because it reminds them of our home. Our home was built in 1907, and these floors are all the originals. He hand-picked and thrifted these items. The light fixtures are all the original ones that were left here, and they even left pictures of some of the founding families that lived here before. So as we walk into this remarkably historical home, he even has a guest book and a table there for you to sign in. It's kind of like a museum in parts of it, and I just absolutely love this. There's so much space in this home. This is his office, and he hand-picked and thrifted all of this furniture. These are some guitars that came from my dad to him. And then he made this desk out of a closet door and some scrap wood. So as you can see, he has made this historical room in the entryway his office. Then right across the hall is an office for his wife. It is also another huge room here with more thrifted furniture that you would find like in a lawyer's office. I mean, very nice things. They have a couple of maps of the books that they have written because they are both best-selling authors of dark fantasy like The Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter, those kinds of things. So this is her office and another historic light fixture. To preserve the privacy of their home, I will be showing you parts of the home, but not the entire home. So there's a little cubby here with one of these little attic doors. And as customary from this era, there are some hidden crawl spaces and hidden doors where people could hide if they needed to, if they were being attacked or if there were soldiers coming to home looking for someone. So I find all of this so fascinating. And again, all of the hand laid wood floors are all the originals. This is his dining room, and again, he thrifted this piece and then had it delivered by a moving company so as not to destroy it in any way, as well as this bureau over here in the corner. And then this is his table that he thrifted, more chairs in the corner, more historic light fixtures. And they had closed off the fireplace and made it decorative as well. But more of the historic looking candelabras. Just an absolutely beautiful home, and many of these curtains were left here as well. Some of my favorite parts of this home are the garden doors that you will find throughout. Here is a back entrance to her office, one of those old-fashioned wooden hangers, and a screened-in front porch, which is one of my favorite things in the world because you can sit out here, listen to the birds, and not get bit by mosquitoes. And then they have a ceiling fan out here and a dinner bell. Off of the kitchen, I have to say this is probably my favorite room. He bought these marble tabletop end tables and coffee tables, and I think he said he paid $50, and there's 3 of them. He went by vintage shops down here and picked up the pictures that he wanted. And look at these doors going into the kitchen. This couch was free for him. They just wanted someone to pick it up and they could have it. He had no way to haul it, so the gentleman actually even delivered it for free. I apologize for the cat in the background. And then he thrifted this piece here, this couch here, and more furniture. He thrifted these colonial looking pictures, another historic candelabra chandelier, and more thrifted pieces, another old-fashioned lamp, and another marble tabletop. And then these pictures were also thrifted. This is the Blue Boy, which is a famous painting that he found at a local thrift shop, along with some more pictures from that era. Outside the kitchen window, you can see the old-fashioned hand pump well that has been modernized to now be a regular well. The doorknobs are all the original ones. These are very similar to the ones that I also have in my house. There is also an upstairs. We will not go up there. It's their bedrooms, and we won't enter any of their bedrooms. But there is the hallway looking back with another beautiful garden door. And then the same old-fashioned lathe type of ceiling is still in place. Now back here is their utility porch. This is very similar to mine at home because this was built on after there was indoor plumbing. The kitchen is more modern, but one of the pieces I want to show you is this built-in desk. And again, more of these historic items were just left here, along with another dinner bell. I do have to watch my step because many of the entrances to the next rooms do have a step up. Because they live here in the South, they were able to pick up some of these vintage pieces easier because they're still floating around a bunch of the resale shops. In fact, my son encouraged me to go take some walk-throughs, some of the vintage shops, and just see what was there. So we may do that. But I just wanted to share this with you because I was so impressed when he told me that all of these vintage furnishings that he purchased didn't even cost over $800. Living in this house also inspired them to start using the cloth napkins. A lot of times, these old fashioned ways of living are also the most frugal and also the most elegant. So they are absolutely loving their house here. And I have to admit, I am loving house sitting and staying with my grandson. This is such a beautiful area, and I just am So excited to get this opportunity and experience to share some of this area and culture with you guys from North Carolina. Since I'm here for quite a few days with travel time on both ends, my son was worried that I was going to get bored. He did pick up some pots and he had some potting soil out in his little building from when he came here, and he wants me to start some garden pots for him to grow some vegetables. So we're going to be working on that this week, and I've already got some onions and some garlic that my daughter-in-law was growing in the windowsill, and we're going to get some of those planted. So when they come back, they're hoping their little pot garden will be going strong by the time they return for the summer for some fresh vegetables. I got the garlic planted. I'm going to let the onions grow roots just a little bit longer since I just placed them in water yesterday. And I did go ahead and bring my Swiss chard and some of my lettuce for while I am down here. My husband is taking care of one of the celery plants and the green pepper plant. I have radishes coming up at home, and my youngest daughter kept a celery plant and a Swiss chard plant for the summer. And then when it gets to be winter, I will move those inside my home. He also saved up his flight miles from his credit card usage, and it paid for their flights to Scotland. Sometimes I think he shows me up a little bit in the frugal realm because he does a really good job, as you can see. He also said that some of his hotels were also covered and that he only had to pay for a couple of nights and the rental car and their food. And that was all they were going to have to come up with for this trip. So I just want to encourage you that you can live the life of your dreams, and you can strategize how to make some of these dreams come true. It sometimes is easier than we think it is going to be. Sometimes it looks like people are living so high on the hog from the outside looking in. And that's why I wanted to give you this little tour so you could see that even though this stuff looks expensive and fancy and costs thousands of dollars, it didn't. And that's the illusion that sometimes we get from looking at what other people have, and we just assume they've spent a lot of money, but many people are frugal behind the scenes. So thanks for listening today. I hope to see you in the next video. I hope you've enjoyed this little trip here to North Carolina. Give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk soon.